have your fear, which might become reality. And you have Godzilla, which is reality.
I'm sick of Godzilla.
Wake up, everyone!
There are two things you don't know about the Earth. One is me, and the other is Godzilla.
We're safe here. No human being can understand that. The monsters on Monster Island can understand it.
Whether he returns or not, or is never again seen by human eyes, the things he has taught us remain.
Hello, everybody. We're back again. Team Godzilla. You can tell both of us Team Godzilla tonight.
Yeah.
Jay, how's it going, dude?
It's going, man. I feel like we're on like a roll. We haven't missed any of our bi-weekly.
Well, I thought we were going to actually
sessions.
When you messaged me earlier, so full disclosure, we changed what this episode was going to be kind of last minute. And we just moved what it was going to be to maybe the next episode. But when you asked me if I had watched the movie yet, I was like, oh, Jay's canceling tonight.
No, it's just we had one of the parts that we were going to kind of tag along with it. Like it turned out to be a lot bigger than we thought. It was like, we're not going to have a 17-hour podcast, right?
Yeah.
It's too late in the evening.
This is more fun, I think. Like, listen, I'm looking forward to doing that other episode because we'll just go ahead and say it. We're going to review the anime trilogy.
Yeah, we're revisiting it.
Yeah, it's been a while, and I know a lot of people dislike it. I really like parts of it, and so I'm excited to go back and watch those movies again. But you know what? I'd rather just sit back and let you show me a bunch of toys, and
we're gonna do a lot of that tonight.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, but hey, on the anime trilogy, I think it'll be really fun because a lot of folks haven't watched it since it came out, and I think a lot has changed. And I think it'll be fun to talk about kind of where we were at when that came out in our fandoms, and then now rewatching it after seeing so much more Godzilla content, and I think it's interesting. I definitely will say it was through new eyes that I viewed.
Oh,
this.
Jay likes it now.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that now. I'm just saying it felt different than the first time.
You sound like you're trying to backpedal to me.
I know, right?
So,
hey, your people are allowed to change their mind, but I don't know if I will on this. We'll see. I feel like I'm a more mature, smarter person than I was back in 2017.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to talk about a lot of toys, and we got so many, Jake. Oh, dude, this might be the most toys in a news section that I think we've ever talked about.
Cool.
Like, I mean, it's so many.
I'm into it because literally that's no work for me. That's all work for Jay.
No,
I have nothing prepared. I got no pickups. We're going to talk about Jay's got some pickups. I haven't watched anything new. Have you? No,
just one part of the anime trilogy. But nothing else.
So, I mean, we're gonna get a little bit of news that you'll kind of let the news just roll into the toy talk. But if you don't have anything else and you want to just jump on your pickups, let's do it.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah.
Unless you had something else you wanted to.
No, I don't. No, I'm actually surprisingly just nothing. I'm very focused
with
today.
The flow tonight. Godzilla versus. We were just before. We probably should have done it on air, but for 10 minutes we were looking up and talking about the numbers for Godzilla versus Kong and how well it's doing, which is insane. But it's still out there. So
it's still out there, which is nuts. And it had passed Godzilla 2014 for total box office in the MonsterVerse. And it's closing in on Skull Island, and it already passed Skull Island domestically. It just internationally, and it's just I'm still the fact that GXK is still doing what it's doing is amazing. It's great. It's wonderful, but it also is a little mind-boggling. But hey, not gonna fight it. Gonna just embrace it.
Yeah, it's looking good. Whatever, we're getting through it, and and it's gonna be on.
It's like an illness.
No, it's not. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of Godzilla happening right now, and it's gonna be. I'm excited. It's gonna be on physical media soon. I've seen pictures of the Steelbook going around. I said this to you before we started, but I'm jealous of everybody who are watching -1 with their VPNs and shit.
The most pirated movie in the world.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, if you wanna hit some pickups, I have no pickups this week. So
I was telling you, I have a random assortment of pickups. Some are not toys. Actually, there's like 3 things that aren't toys, and one is a toy, but not really, or not at all kaiju. But because we like to talk about sofubi and vinyl toys and stuff, I think it's really cool, and I want to talk about that one. I'll do that one first. And it's from a company we've talked about on here before, in Kaiju One. And I believe I got I think I maybe showed off on here. If so, it would have been early on, my Snake Plissken vinyl toy.
Yeah, I remember
Kaiju One. Well, they do a lot of the action heroes, right? They do like Terminator, and they do, I really want them to do a Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China. They haven't done that one yet. But they've done Stallone as Rambo. They've done a lot of really cool ones. But this one popped up, and I was like, I got to order it. So I reached out to the guy that got it from one of my favorite movies, or my favorite trilogies, the Mad Max trilogy, but obviously number 2. It's not Mad Max because they don't have the license. It's Danger Dax. But it's, well, look at this. It's Max. It's Mel Gibson. Look at that. I mean, this is straight out of Road Warrior 2. I mean, this is so cool. I mean, they do such good stuff. Yeah, and I'm waiting for I need a Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China, and I need a Chuck Norris from one of the Delta Force movies, and then we'll be good to go. And I need Arnold as John Matrix from Commando.
There you go.
Such a good movie.
That's a cool toy, man.
It is. No, they do great stuff, and it is, it's a vinyl toy. So the next couple things I got are really, really cool, and they are very much kaiju related, but they aren't toys. The first one, I'm actually going to look up so I can. I should have got the Instagram handle here, but I want to share it. And it's from Chet Phillips, the artist. And I think his Instagram, it's at Insta Chet Art. So Insta, like as an Instagram, Chet, CHET Art. And he's done a lot of stuff. And he does so many cool like kaiju crossovers and mythical beasts. And he does really cool everything from like calendars to trading cards to prints. It's really cool. Great artist, based down in Austin. And we know I love kaiju, but I also love baseball. So anytime those kind of work together, it's even better. So he put together this cool deck of playing cards. So not baseball cards, but they're all themed as it's a kaiju baseball vintage card set. Now, this has 58 different illustrations in it. And it has 4 different teams. It has some like wild cards and stuff in here, but I want to show you some of these. These are
I want to see them
because you have the 4 teams are the Matsumoto Mutants, the Kyoto Kaiju, the Tokyo Terrors, and the Fuji Fiends. And look at some of these cards. I'm just going to put a couple there. I've got to find one to start off with because you'll love it. It is so freaking good. Look at this. Starring for the Matsumoto Monsters, look at this. Pigmon.
Whoa.
Look how good that is. Yeah. And then and look, also this team, Canagon. But then some of these are just like,
man, those would even look cool, like framing a couple of them, hanging them up.
Yeah. Here's a Godzilla one. Here's a little different style here with the full swing.
It's so weird.
I know, it's so great. I mean, Rodan. Oh, I have to show you one of my favorite ones, Mothra as a catcher. Oh man, so good. I got her gear on. Look at this, Mothra catching gear. Oh my god, this is so cool. Insta Chet Art. He has a great shop. Has lots of really cool stuff. That, like I said, a lot of cool mashups. It's all done in this kind of vintage storybook style art. I don't know what to call it. It's beautiful. Yeah. And he has some really cool like Lord of the Rings stuff, or he did. I know you would dig that, and some really just neat stuff. So pick this up because, like I said, I had to get this, and this was like $12 or $15.
Yeah,
it's all very affordable stuff. He's great, wonderful stuff. Ships out like the next day. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
The other, I got 2 things. They're the same type of item, but they are slightly different. I love hats. I wear a lot of hats. You know that. But I need to up my hat. I need to up my hat game. So I pulled these 2 from the Hakuba Gallery in Japan. Had them ship it out. These are these awesome 2 Bullmark hats. So I got this really cool. This is the vintage style Bullmark logo there, and then kind of the more iconic looking Bullmark logo here.
Dude, those are awesome.
Yeah. So I will be rocking these out in the world, out in the wild. Definitely at G-Fest, definitely at Kaiju Go.
Yeah.
But absolutely love those. Those are really cool. And they're still available. And they have some other hats, some really cool stuff at the Graveyard Gallery, the Hakuba Gallery in Japan. And they work with one of the proxy buyers. I think it's World Shipping or something. It's kind of like a buy or whatever. They'll get it out to you pretty quickly. These came in like 3 days. So really cool stuff.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good stuff, dude.
The next 4 things I have are traditional kaiju toys. Well, not really traditional because nothing's really traditional anymore. But remember that line extension from Bandai called Phantasy with the 3 Z's?
Yes.
And they did a really cool kind of Defa Real style sofubi, kind of squattier stuff. They have a lot of really cool ones, a lot of Godzillas and Hedras and Gigan's. Well, there was one colorway that came out about 5 or 6 months ago for Gigan that I really liked, and I went and picked it up. And it's this cool black and green kind of foresty Gigan. Ooh. I don't know why. I don't have a ton of like this green in here, but maybe that's why. But it's
like toxic Gigan. Looks like
it's I don't know. It's something that could like be Trendmaster's colorway, or it could have been on I don't know, like a bootleg toy, or I don't know, or a Hot Wheel from like the 1980s. Like I mean, it's just really cool, and I do dig the Gigan sculpt. It's my favorite of the Phantasy sculpts. It's really cool. But you know, it's nice, like little 5 or 6 inches, like looks like a sofubi Defa Real, but more proportional.
That's awesome.
The next one is something that I've been wanting to pick up for a while, and I just never have. And it's from M1, and it's an Ultraman, but it's the reverse color Ultraman, sometimes referred to as drunken Ultraman. But it literally is where there's gray, there's red, and where there's red, there's gray. And it's from M1, so you know it's going to be a great sculpt. But I love this guy.
Ooh, that looks so good.
It's so cool. Man, I love this one so much.
So striking.
Yeah, and you know, I have a lot of Ultraman stuff, but like something about this, like even amidst like really cool looking Ultraman stuff, this stands out, and I don't know why. I mean, it's a simple concept, but for some reason, maybe it's the all red face.
Great.
Yeah. I love it. But yeah, he's awesome.
That's cool.
Class about 8.5, 9 inches tall. It's really great.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one, you'll be proud of me. This is like just like 2 weeks ago. Jay, you're living up to your promise. 89.89's got the shirt on. This is my second one that came in last time. I sold one. I did it again, man.
Okay.
I got an 89. I sold it so I could accept this one into the family.
Good.
This was a Godzilla store exclusive. This was the other one. There was the pewter one we talked about. This was the other one that was on that Godzilla store live stream on Godzilla Day last year. Finally came home. And this was also painted by Takashi Yoshizaki. I had to look over here to make sure that I was getting it right. He was the one that did all the jewelry painting and stuff over there. But this is his Biollante version. So it's inspired by Biollante on Biogoji. And it's this matte green and black. And you flip it over, and it has these really cool orange spots.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah, it's really. I love this one.
That reminds me of the old video game.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I like because it's a little bit different because it's the green and black matte. You know, like it's definitely a matte look versus some of the other green and black marbled versions that are slicker and look like something. You know, like. It had the what did NECA call the one the Godzilla had like the Biollante acid on it? A lot of that stuff looks like it looked like that.
I can't remember something. Crazy.
Yeah, but this one really cool. I actually really love this one a lot. So this was a great pickup. But as much as I like all that stuff, the Gigan's great, the Ultraman's great, the playing cards, hats, love it all. I got a big one in. I got one in that I'm going to go ahead and say, Jake, it's going to be in our 2024 Figure of the Year nominations.
Whoa!
I mean, I don't think there's any doubt. Now, I say that because at first I thought this would be in our 2023 Figure nominations, but it got delayed, and it got delayed, and it got delayed, and it finally shipped out mid-April. Is when we started seeing them hit mid-April, late April, and I finally got mine in from Medicom Anraku Ansaku, a lottery from last year. Here he is. Spasu Galji. There he is.
Look at that.
Look at this guy. I mean, he's so beautiful.
Yeah,
it's the classic Anraku sculpt, and it's just painted beautifully. It's great. I mean,
it's good to see Space Godzilla get some love this year with this, and
it's an anniversary year. Yeah. When I mean, we're going to talk about in a bit the other Space Godzillas that we're seeing out in the world, and how this guy is making me feel a little bit better about myself, knowing that I will not get those other ones. But this guy, I got, and I love him.
That's a good toy.
Yeah, I mean, the Mondos were great, and I love the Mondos, and I think the trendy variant is still one of my favorite toys that I've got over the past few years. But I think this is a different level. This is so good. This purple is striking in person. It really is. And it looks a little dark here on camera, but I promise it's really cool. So yeah, 10 inches of awesome Space Godzilla right here.
It's a good pickup, dude.
Look at that face, man. Just look at that face. Look at that face.
Yeah, I want it.
And that's it. Those are my pickups.
Woo, good stuff, dude.
Yeah, random assortment.
Oh, it makes me every time we do an episode, as soon as we get done, I get online and I start looking, and I'm like, oh, what's available? What can I buy tonight?
Lots of stuff.
I need a good pickup week, Jay. I need a good.
It cures a lot of ills. Oh, well, I got to ask. I wasn't able to watch Toy Anxiety last night. I had other plans, and it's in the queue. Did you have any non-Godzilla pickups there? Hopefully, you're at least that part of your world is.
Nope.
Okay.
No pickups at all. It's just
got to address this.
It's a slow time for toys, not for Godzilla toys, but just like it's just a little slow right now. I got a couple big conventions coming up, a few trips, so taking it a little easy. I got a couple things that I know are coming, a couple things that are on the way, but nothing super crazy right now. But
well, con season always changes.
Dude, you know me. I'll buy something crazy tonight, maybe. I don't know. I don't like going multiple episodes and not having stuff. But.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about toys because I think this might just if you're on the edge, all these toy reveals will just push you off of it.
Let's get into it, dude. What you got?
Well, I'm gonna pause you because I got to talk about one non-toy thing first.
Sure.
The one news item that's not toy or merch related. So I'm going to pull up some slides here, and I want to thank our good buddies over at Kaiju United. Great resource for anybody looking out for Kaiju news and everything like that. Go check them out at kaijuunited.com. They're out at all the cons. Jacob and his team are great, wonderful people. But they announced they broke it over here. They were the first outlet I saw in the US that mentioned this, but Toho officially announced they're doing a Human Vapor remake. So from that kind of trilogy, that Toho transforming human mutant trilogy that they released, this is my favorite of those three, and probably the one I've watched the most recently, and they're doing a remake, and I think it'll be wonderful. I really do.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've seen this movie. We didn't cover this movie for the show, did we?
We haven't, no.
And I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it is.
I'm making sure. I've heard of it, but I've heard of it, but I don't. I'm not super familiar.
Yeah, it would be even for us that we've bent the rules on what's a kaiju film to review on here. Latitude Zero, there's a griffin for 5 seconds. This is none of that. This is all like human. Yeah. It's kaijin, I guess.
Sure.
But it's essentially about a man becomes a criminal after he turns into a human vapor.
I think it's a good idea to remake. Like I've always thought, even for like American films, there's a couple, movies from around the same era, the early, the 60s or the 50s,
1960,
that are, would do well with being remade now. So I think this is cool, and I hope it kickstarts, maybe remaking some other really early films that maybe they couldn't do as much with. But yeah, 100%. I've always thought it would be cool to get a good remake of Valley of Gwangi. Yeah. Or, any of those kind of movies, like Beast from 20,000. Dude, fucking 20 Million Miles to Earth. But a remake. I would love a remake of that. So, yeah, I'm into this, man.
I feel like Gwangi, they might make it too silly. They might just be hard to prevent them doing it. And then, and it shouldn't be.
They could, but I think Guanji and 20 Million Miles from Earth, they both have these kind of heavy, pro animal, like, and they both have sort of tragic endings to them as well. And I'm just like, man, these could be made if they, if they really wanted to, if they got the right people to do it. But
yeah, well, Human Vapor's worth a watch, man. It's great. It's on Flix, I know, to rent, and then you can watch on archive.org and stuff. But it's Yoshia Tsuchiya is the lead. He plays the Human Vapor, and he's obviously the controller of Planet X, and he plays Shindo in Godzilla versus King Ghidorah as he does the epic stare down. He's excellent in this. He's so good in it. And Yoshifumi Tajima is in it as well as like head of the police. So it's really cool. I think as you watch it, you can say like, yes, this is something that in today's age they could do really well with, especially in that it's an action thriller with horror vibes. And I think that and one of the reasons I think Toe's probably gravitating towards this is twofold. One is I think that genre is really hot right now, especially on things like Netflix and such. I think it makes a lot of sense. And apparently, and this is like news to me, I read a lot about this today as I was kind of learning about it, but there's this movement for a lot of these Japanese IPs and franchises to kind of do collabs with these Korean production houses because there, been some success with that. And this is a joint venture between Toho and WoW Point from Korea. And it's the guy that's doing, and I haven't watched it, but I know Netflix, The Parasite, The Gray, is getting a lot of love, but it's a Korean.
Is that out now? Is that already out?
I think so. Yeah. But the Korean guy that's doing that is the lead writer for this remake. Okay. And then the director will be from Toho. And one of the two main stars, I'm guessing he plays the Human Vapor or the detective, I don't know, is the guy that played Ren Serizawa in Godzilla vs. Kong. Shunagori.
Oh,
yeah. So he'll play. To me, I'm thinking he's the Human Vapor, but who knows?
Who knows?
I could see him having a very Yoshia Tsuchiya vibe. But yeah, so that's coming out. I mean, I think this is cool. I really do. I think you'll like the film. The original. Yeah. I think you will.
I'm going to check it out. Yeah, I think it's a very exciting news. I'm ready.
Yeah, once again, it's Toho, and though this isn't a kaiju film, the repercussions, if it's successful, are only going to lift up Toho's kaiju and sci-fi and tokusatsu properties. So I'm rooting for it, and it's a good film. So anyway, I had to get that one out of the way. And once again, thank you to Jacob and his team over at Kaiju United. Those guys are growing fast and furious and a really cool part of the community. Cool. So let's get on to some toys. Now, we have 3 big events that happen. Oh, no, excuse me. 2 big events that happened and one that will happen by the time we record again.
Okay.
Super Festival 88 happened, and NeoPlayerOne's My First One happened. Then we have Hobby Round 30, which is coming up, I think, on the 11th. So those 3 I want to focus on, but there also were dozens of other releases not tied to any event or anything. Just, hey, we're releasing toys. Love it. Yeah. So we'll start with Superfest, and then we'll make our way through because everybody loves Superfest. So 88. Let's talk about this. Super Festival 88 happened on the 28th. And we'll start with M1. We love Nishimura-san, so we'll talk about M1. And I say they're reveals. These are items that they have released. They sold out quickly. They were super popular, so they're bringing them back, which is awesome. Number 1 is they partnered with Bullmark and to get the rights to do their Bullmark Hedera, this really cool glow-in-the-dark variant here. I love this one. It's a fun kind of splattery colorway, and it glows in the dark in that classic Bullmark Hedera sculpt. But this one was released officially at Wonderfest winter of this year, so in February, and sold out in 2 seconds. And so they're bringing it back.
These are cool. What's the size on that?
That's a standard one, so that's gonna be about 8 or 9 inches.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like the sculpt a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, the Bullmark sculpt's great.
It's a classic.
The next one comes from not only my favorite Ultraman episode, but I think the best Ultraman episode, as I ranked it number 1 in my video, Top 10 Ultraman episodes. And that comes from the episode Little Hero. So this is the second the second Pigmon episode.
Second time, okay.
Yeah, in the series where he is found in the department store, and this depicts that scene where he's opens up and he's just sitting on his posterior there in the toy store, in the department store, with his eyes closed. And so this is a glow in the dark version of that from that episode, Little Hero from M1. I mean, this is a must have for me. It's Pigmon. It's an awesome looking red sculpt with like very tastefully done glow in the dark.
Yep.
And it's from my favorite episode of Ultraman. And it's a different stance than they normally have.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
It's not the same thing. Yeah. Got to get this one.
Yeah, it's so good. But M1, they also had a couple other tricycles and some other things. Nothing was quote unquote new in the Godzilla Ultra, kaiju realm.
Yeah.
But they're going to go to Superfest with more than these two. It's going to be, you're going to see a lot of Canagon tricycles and, some Shobajin and all that good stuff. So really neat and love the Pigmon.
Good stuff so far.
So that's just a little appetizer. So what else we got? Okay, Marasan comes in. Now, Marasan's kind of focus for Superfest was really kind of a homage to the past in different ways. So I'll start on the right. These are sculpts that we've seen. This is the classic Marasan 66 Godzilla. This is their new Godzilla 99 that they're launching a lot of cool colorways with the 350 series and then some Aragachas. But they wanted to give the line a nice run with that classic Marasan blue, the blue that made that 66, the J-Tails and the L-Tails so famous. So they're going to give the 99 that look here. And they released this at Superfest. So the sculpts aren't new, but applying that Marasan look, Marasan colorway to the 99s is. And they've done it with the 89. They've done it with their other Godzillas. And it's always a fan favorite because like when we see that blue teal-ish color, we know that it's Marasan blue.
Yeah, it kind of screams vintage, I think,
100%.
especially with that silver mixed in.
Yeah, 100%. On the left, so they gave us for the 40th anniversary of, the 50th anniversary of Mechagodzilla and the 40th anniversary of the film, the Ultraman story. They gave us two iconic robot mech bad guys from those films. They gave us Mechagodzilla 74 in this new kind of sparkly silver colorway with a little touch of green. That it looks great. And these are 350, so these are 9 inches tall. And then they also gave us Grand King, kind of the secondary villain from the Ultraman story, in a really cool colorway as well. I think these are stunning. These are great. These are wonderful. I think they're not too far out there, but they're beautiful sculpts. And Marasan knows that this 9-inch scale, I mean, it's hard to beat Marasan. And so, yeah, they came with this. And of course, they had loads and loads of Maragachas, the same ones with different colorways that they probably just filled an entire table with. But these were the big four.
That Mechagodzilla looks like with the green makes it look like he's got moss growing on him. I like that.
Oh, he's kind of half organic. I like
that.
He's like, AI now. He's turning himself to be an organic life form. I love it. So Marasan, they, like you said, they came with some stuff. But I think US Toys, and I showed you this image not too long ago. I think US Toys gave us some of the best stuff there. They gave us only one from their shampoo bottle line, but it's a pink Miklas, and he looks awesome. Like, look at him there in the middle. I mean, like, I wish he would have been pink in the Ultra 7. I mean, it would have been great as one of his capsule friends, capsule monsters. I love that one. But then you get two of my other truly favorite kaiju in Siabozu with the two poses, hands behind the back walking, and then the two Buskas.
Yep.
These are awesome. And I think they do one of the best Siabozus of all time. And we know that they dominate the Buska scene.
Of course.
It's so good. So good. And then the other ones that they put out there were, so first off, in blue in the back, that's Duncan from Ultra 7, the foam monster and stuff. And he's great. He's wonderful. But I wasn't familiar with Object X Kurorin.
Yeah, that thing's wild looking.
That is a Buska kaiju from Kaiju Buska.
Okay.
And that made total sense.
From the original show?
Yeah. So that made total sense of why I wasn't aware. And it wasn't a suit. It was like a puppet. So it was like a little flying thingamajig. So yeah. And now it's like makes me want to go back
Yeah, it makes me want to go ahead and buy that because I know I'll love it once I am able to see the show.
Please, somebody like subtitle that the original Subaraya. Come on, because you can watch it, but it's like, you know, it's and you could probably pick up what's going on. My gut is that it's probably not overly complex plots, but I still like to see the subtitles to see what asinine things they say in a 1960s kids show, right? Like with you know, with a irradiated iguana. So it's like. But anyway, so so the Karorin was from Busca. So
cool.
He looks great. He looks like he could be like a Henson movie as well. So does Busca. Busca's the best. I love Busca. But then this was the one, and this is in Jake's purchasing future.
I need this
because from future, this is the retro version of Dodongo. But you know, I looked at this and I was like, this is such a cool interpretation of it. I dig it. Like, it's beautiful. It's great. You know, it's about 9 inches tall. And so if you look at it, probably about 9 or 10 inches long. But then I started digging in on this one because I know Future from some of their kind of like stubbier, squattier King Ghidorahs and some other things. And so I was looking in this, and there's an entire line of Sofubi. They have like 5. This is the 6th release.
Yeah, I was going to say, I knew there were some other.
Yeah, from Ultra, from the Kazuo Umezu's manga. And so apparently, and I didn't know this, his manga was released like simultaneous to the 66 film or show. So like, this wasn't like something that was reinterpreted. Like, this is what these toys are inspired by his depictions of some of these kaiju. And he has an Ultraman, he has a Mephiles and a Duraco and a Bolton and a Red King. And so this is his Dodongo. So it made me like, hey, I want to go like check out some of these mangas, not just to look at the art.
For sure.
Some of the pictures I saw online were just like breathtaking. Yeah. But I wasn't aware that that existed. But then now they're have an entire Sofubi line based off of this.
Well, we need it. We need the manga and this toy.
Yes, I mean, but this is of the ones. The Red King is pretty cool. All of them are pretty cool, but this is the best one. This is like. Style of the kaiju aside, just what they did to it, like, this is beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I agree.
So I thought this was kind of my shining star from Superfest. It really was. So let's talk Hobby Round. So this is coming up in May, and Hobby Round's great. There's been a lot of really cool releases. I just wanted to pull a few that have been announced officially because one of them might be a game changer. One new line, and we'll get to that in 1 second here. So let's talk. No, we'll get to it right now. So Saru Jirushi. I feel like we haven't talked a lot of Saru Jirushi lately, right? I feel like they, they have their sculpts and they have their colorways, and they just kind of been churning those out, and everybody loves them and they're great. But I don't know if they've been pushing the envelope a lot. Then they said, "Hey, hold my beer. Here you go," and they gave us this awesome unveiling of the new Wacky Monster Racing series. And I tell you, man, I think they killed it. You've got Godzilla in a train. You got Hedorah in a classic car, because why not? And you have Jet in a vintage race car. Like, that one in Godzilla makes sense. Godzilla eats trains, even though that's more like a locomotive, but whatever. Jet Jaguar, like, I could see like his creator and his heterosexual life partner like driving around in that race car. But like, the Hedorah in a vintage car, like, I'm like, what? He's been in like a garbage truck or something. But anyway, these are great.
I want these with all my heart.
Yeah.
The moment I saw these, I was like, these are on the list. These are. I don't know what the prices are. They haven't released them yet. These, I don't know TBD. How hard they're going to be to get or anything, but they're amazing. These are like must-have toys.
Yeah, I really think now Saru Jirushi, they haven't grown their line. I mean, they have their Shins, they have their 62s, they have their 64s. They don't have a wide line, but they go deep, right? They do tons of colorways of each one. I'm hoping with this one, I would much rather have more kaiju and characters and cars than different colorways. Because like at the end of the day, like, fine, I don't care if all the vehicles are red, but like I want, what Caractix has done, like I think of all the cool Mecha Godzillas and the planes and everything. They're so good. Like people love this stuff. And of course the tricycles. So like, I want to see more of these Toho Kaiju in different vehicles. Like we need one in a tank and one in a bus and one in a fire truck. Like, I mean, come on now. Like, I mean, the sky's the limit. I'd much rather see that than just, oh, it's Godzilla in a blue train or it's a green Hedorah in a white car.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
just give me more Kaiju.
Yes. Yeah.
I hope they're attainable. That's what I want.
Yeah. You know, Saru's not, I mean, there's always going to be the markup if you're not over in Japan getting him at these events. But I hope so too. I hope these are something that like, yeah, they're able to be acquired eventually. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was a star, but Saru was like, you know, hey, I know you haven't talked about me, Jake and Jay. Well, you're going to talk about me a lot today. Because not only am I doing this, I am going to give you a really cool updated colorway for my 64. This is the 10th variant of their really great 64 sculpt. And I know the Passion Take 64 gets all the love and deservedly so. It is a gorgeous sculpt. But when you factor in colorway, Saru Jirushi, hey, they're at least in the conversation. They have a great one. And this one is really cool because it's a double mold. The outside is a clear with a light blue. I believe that's a light blue inner spray on the clear mold. And then there's a red glitter separate mold inside.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I have a feeling this one might be expensive. You know, they're big. It's sculpted by Yamada-san and all that good stuff. But like, I have a feeling this one is something you put on a shelf and everybody just goes to it. And it's not wacky colors, but it's just, you can tell the craftsmanship. It's going to be a double mold. There's spray, there's glitter, there's transparent, there's everything. Like it is just this amazing piece. I'm really excited for this one to be out there in the wild.
The double molding gives it a really unique look. You know, like it just looks too cool.
It does. It's so cool. I have Marasan did a really cool double mold of King Joe that I showed off. Actually, you might not have seen it because I think I showed it off right after G-Fest, and I think it's the show I did with Ryan Wilhelm.
Okay.
Talking about our G-Fest hauls. But I have a cool one, and it's King Joe, and it's the clear, and it's an all transparent pink inside mold. And I know how cool that looks. But then when you take that and you put it in Godzilla and you do a clear with this awesome metallic blue spray, and then you do a glitter mold inside.
Yeah.
Ay caramba. I think, like I said, I think this one is going to be a home run. Hey, maybe it's something we talk about for Figure of the Year next year. Hey, yeah, and maybe those wacky racers too. Who knows?
Yeah, that's possible.
The wacky racers might have to transition over to like the Toy Anxiety world. They're so good. They're just might be the best toys ever. They're really pretty cool. Okay, so once again, not all. I know. These are really cool. So Shima X, who we've talked about a few times on here, but not a brand. It's not Marasan or Marmit, really, where we talk about a ton. They have these awesome, this pairing of Sanda and Gaira from War of the Gargantuas, this Gargantuan set. Now, it's funny because you look at them and they look like traditional sofubi as far as like they look about 8 or 9 inches tall. These are actually medium size. So they're 6 inches. So they're that 6-inch scale, which is crazy because they look bigger in the images. But they're only making 80 of these sets. And they're, like I said, they're a little over 6 inches tall each. But what stood out to me with those, and I'm curious to get your thoughts, the sculpts are great, but they're not too different from the other kind of gargantuan sculpts that we've seen from places like Marmit or even Billiken.
Yeah.
It's these paint apps are gorgeous. I love how they did the depth with the light minty green and the dark green with Gaira. And then I think those touches of dark blue on Sanda are genius. I don't know. I just love the colorways on these.
They're great colors, but I kind of feel like they don't super like match each other. Like the green on Gara is like a little more naturalistic and a little more, and then like the screen. The other one's insane looking.
Yeah,
not saying that I don't like them, but they almost feel like they're mismatched from another set.
2 different sets.
Yeah, it's super crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's like one's like our artistic, we're sofubi, so we can do whatever we want. And it's like the other one should just be like light tan and dark brown.
Exactly.
And like,
exactly. Weird.
Yes.
I like it. Yeah.
Maybe the next one, maybe they're doing like the Super 7 model. Oh, bless you.
Ooh, excuse me.
Well, they'll release like multiple ones, and you have to like buy all the waves to actually put together the correct ones. But I thought this was cool. So like Hobby Round, you look at it and it's like they're giving us Saru Jirushi and the Wacky Racers. They're giving us this from Shima X.
Yeah, lots of good stuff.
They're giving us some stuff. So really cool. Okay. Now we got to talk about this. And this one I would say just was all over Instagram and all the communities and everything. And once again, rightfully so. But it's funny to see what NeoPlayerOne's turning into from a toy sofubi collector community standpoint. And what I mean is like, and you know this better than anybody because you talk about the broader toy industry, you know, in the US on one of the best toy shows on YouTube, maybe the best, is the best. Don't even need the maybe.
Thank you.
But NeoPlayerOne now, and these are truly art pieces as well. I mean, this show was an art gallery show, but they're getting their prices to get them in the US because these are all small run super lottery are so expensive, right? And and a lot of people are very upset. And I think the defensive mechanism here is it's not worth it. You know, it's not worth $3,000 for this. It's not worth it. And I don't want to argue that because that's a no-win situation. But I'm curious if NeoPlayerOne and just how amazing these things are and how popular, if it ever gets to the point where it's turning too many of the collectors off because of the price. And I hope not, because I'm a big believer in, I want these things to make money for the artists because it allows them to push and evolve and push the envelope because they know they're making money and they're financially smart. But my gut or my feel on these is it's not necessarily the cost of these items if you win the lottery at the gallery showing in Japan. It's really the secondary market.
Yeah.
And hey, if they're getting it, they're getting it. It's great. It's only making the NeoPlayerOne brand more, you know, just upper tier, super collector, whatever. But it's getting to the point where it's like, even I like I have a couple NeoPlayerOnes, but like not the ones we'll talk about today because they're just the cost of entry is too high. Like it's almost like, at what point do we as lovers of this don't even talk about it because it's like it's so far out of the realm of reality, right? And it's not saying it's, and it doesn't mean it's, I'm not crapping on the quality and how, because I think these are the best toys out there. But like, is there a point for us to talk about them if the cost of entry gets to $5,000-$6,000 a pop? I don't know.
Is that what they're going for? Like with not like secondary market, but like
no, they're not that expensive
type stuff.
No.
Well, then I don't think a company really dictates what their secondary market is. So you can't
not at all.
Really like blame it on them. It's kind of our fault that they go for so much because we love them because they're amazing toys. But
NeoPlayerOne's doing nothing wrong here. I mean, I just mean like the brand, not them. No, I mean
it's because they're so rare, they're so sought after. Yeah. There's such a small number that getting it at the actual like retail price is basically 100%. A non-existent thing. So
they're underpricing
secondary number. Yeah, so
they're
the secondary market number is basically like that's how much they are.
Well, so. I think what you'll hear people say, and this is fair, but once again, I always give the businesses the benefit of the doubt that they're doing what's right for their brands. They know, like, you know, I don't like the argument, we'll just produce more. We want it. Like, no, they're producing the right amount for them to make the right amount of profit for the amount of work and effort and materials that they need. Like, great. Like, I will never, ever, ever be mad. I'll be sad if I don't get one, but not mad or angry if, you know, somebody has to do a 20 item run instead of a 2,000 item run.
Right.
But I think what a lot of people will say is NeoPlayerOne last year did do the for them an international lottery where it got some of the items out there to the US a little bit more, and you saw the secondary market prices go down. Well, those haven't happened in a while, and I don't know if there's any timeline for another one to happen. Who knows? And you know what? That's their prerogative if they don't want to do it anymore. But I think the hope is that, okay, if you do one of a different Space Godzilla colorway or the 54 colorway, it might drop some of these prices down a little bit. And once again, that's not a knock on NeoPlayerOne at all. They do what they do. I just like, to me, I'm talking about it from a content producer. Like, at what point is it just like, no, that's like, I want to talk about go car shopping. I'm not going to go to, the Bentley dealership. It's just not happening. Yeah, I can admire it from afar, but me, I love NeoPlayerOne. I think truly they have captured my favorite aesthetic better than almost any other player out there. So if I ever rip on one, it's me having a bad moment of jealousy and sadness. Right. Because I will tell you right now, like, they are like my favorite, even though I won't own more than probably the two that I have now.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy with those two. I love them. Actually, I got 3 technically with Bolton. But anyway, so this was their event, and this was a pure gallery setting. I'm talking in museum pedestal display cases. Like, it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. So jealous of everybody they got to go. But let's talk about the 9 items that were sold there, and then some of the kind of teases as well. Yes, 9. These are the 9, nominees for Toy of the Year. So, yeah, I mean, these are mind-boggling awesome. So they did a couple of their 95. So this is the one with like the burning smoke and, stuff around, and they did a couple different colorways. We've seen the first 2 were the kind of the teal greeny one, and then the clear red one. Well, they released these, this clear blue one, the clear green one, and this one that's kind of this like deep, like black, almost plum, and the orange and yellow. I mean, they're all awesome. They're all great. They're all wonderful. I'll say the opaque one, the one that wasn't transparent in the images, was actually my favorite one.
Yeah.
They did another Hedorah. Now, this is the Hedorah sculpt. We'll talk about a different one in a second. This is the Hedorah sculpt that we've seen before with the gray and the pink releases. So this was done. This was like a yellowy, translucent yellowy with the blues and the reds, and just kind of freaky looking. Love it. I think it's great. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I would say the main events were the Space Godzillas, and rightfully so. So, the cartoony palette of the top one with the lavendery, light purple, and the pink.
It's like ice cream.
And then the crystals are translucent. They're like a translucent blue. It just, those images, if you get a chance to look at a larger image from the actual event, it's stunning. And then the one below it, the Space Godzilla, it brings in the metallic. Yeah, the metallics.
Black and red.
Yeah, and it's like I think it might even be like a dark purple.
Yeah.
But it's all that metallic. It's stunning. I mean, those 2 Space Godzillas, I say this as I clutch my Anraku, and he's my comfort animal right now. Might be 2 of the greatest kaiju toys
Cover
ever.
His ears.
I know. No,
but talk about how much greater this is.
This guy, have you seen the secondary prizes? Like,
No.
I'm taking the blame on this one. Kaiju collecting community, send all your ill will towards Jay, because I jinxed this. These things came out on the secondary market right after all that went up to the lottery winners, right? And they were like, there was tons of them, and they were like $230 a pop. I think I texted you, and I was like,
yeah,
this is amazing. There's like 20 or 30 out there that I saw. They all were priced like $200 to $300. Amazing. Literally a week later, I ordered mine. I was like, done. Yes. Literally a week later, they are on there for like $800 to $1,000.
Oh shit!
Yeah, there's a few on there in like the $600-700 range. So like, he's even turned in crazy. It's Space Godzilla, man.
Yeah.
But these 2, just absolutely gorgeous. Like NeoPlayerOne, like this is. If we ever had to tell anybody like what we love about toy collecting and sofubi, I'll show them these 2 Space.
Just show it this,
and they'll be like, yeah, I get it. So these right now, like I've seen a couple of the auctions and stuff. They're still going on for these, but my gut is these will end up around like low end around $2,500, high end around $5,000 for these. Dude. Yeah,
that's
and there's
insane.
Not. And here's the thing, Jake, they'll go for that, and there's not many. So
right.
And I'm very happy for those guys and gals that are getting them. They're awesome. I never get mad at people flipping things or whatever. It doesn't bother me because it is what it is. But these are so cool. And I think, and here's the thing. I want to make sure that I delineate this on here. I think they're worth every penny of that price tag.
Yeah.
I can't get them. It's out of I don't have that in disposable income for it, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
So I think they're perfect. I think they're perfect.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, they're perfect.
Can't say anything more than that.
They released other things as well. I love the 54 train biter in this like all yellow. I don't know why I love yellow. It's great.
It looks like a Starburst. I want to eat it.
Totally. With a train stuck in it. And then another, I love their 64s. I have the pink 64.
I think they're 64. I think that's their best sculpt.
Me too. Well, I think Space Godzilla, but the ones I've seen in person. I love this. I love the 64. I have the pink one. I still think the blue-green 64, which was their first 64 they released, is still maybe my favorite one. And they've released a few other ones, a glow-in-the-dark white one.
I love this black and orange Halloween colors.
So Halloween.
Yeah.
Very cool. So they released that. Oh, but that's not all, Mr. Walsh, because NeoPlayerOne does not mess around.
Well, I noticed
they did the
there.
Oh, yeah, because there's the Hedera Anatomy. When they released this one, we got to have Kaiju Anatomy and everything, whether it's shirts or toys or whatever. And done in the NeoPlayerOne style, they killed it. They knocked it out of the park. This looks great. But to me, like I thought was really cool because we just talked about Saru Jirushi and their, Kaiju in cars. NeoPlayerOne said, "Hey, I want in on that action."
Us too.
Yeah,
everybody's doing cars now.
These were teased, and I love that middle one because it's that blue color that I love of the 64 looking one. But they have Hedera in a car. Hedera, man, is just driving around everywhere, and the two Mazinger Z's in the back. But I don't have any details on when these are coming out. These I don't believe were for sale. But if they start transitioning to those,
they're awesome. Yeah. I want it.
So between the future Dodongo, between the Pigmon sitting that I got to get, between the Saru Jirushi wacky racers, between everything from NeoPlayerOne, I mean, we've said it on here a million times, but has it ever been this good? Has it ever?
It hasn't. It's crazy. The amount of Godzilla stuff we get nowadays, not just in media, but like in toy form too, it's overwhelming.
And every style.
Much there is. Yeah, exactly.
And every style.
It's insane.
Yeah, this event's so cool. I know I saw some pictures from it. I'm so jealous and thankful that people got to see this. And it was displayed how it should have been displayed in a gallery setting, because this is art. This is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful craftsmanship.
Yep.
Awesome stuff. So thank you, NeoPlayerOne, and I hope to one day to own some of the more of your stuff because it's great.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about other toys. Now, these toys aren't tied to any event. These are just all the other toys because, as all this stuff is going on, it's not like folks are going to slow down. Yeah, like Max Toy and specifically Max Toy Japan, their Japanese subsidiary. They're like, you know what? We're going to partner with M78 Toys, the online retailer, Ultraman specific Tsuburaya store. And then they're like, you know what? We're going to release a juvenile Ella King, a Yango, a Pestar, an Ultraman, a Shin Gomez, and a Gabora, all in glow in the dark, and they're going to be awesome. And I love it. And me, I think Max Toy is one of the best Yango and Pestar sculpts out there. And maybe in a few weeks, months, we might even be talking about those sculpts on something else a little bit more closer to home, if you will.
Okay,
but
we'll tease.
Look at all these. This set of 6 glow in the dark. I mean.
Yeah,
freaking amazing.
Good colors here. These are all fun.
And I'd never seen the baby.
Everything Max Toy does.
Oh, I know. And it's ridiculous. I'd never seen the baby juvenile Ella King down there, the little tadpole looking Ella King.
I love the way it looks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I love they always work in like, because with Hedera, they did like the small Hederas. They always work in like some smaller kaiju as well in their stuff. Really cool stuff.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Anyway, amazing. So Max Toy M78. Oh, and then we have some more toy reveals. Oh, gosh, we have too many. So, Anraku Ansaku, this is their 4th variant. This was just announced yesterday, I think.
Okay.
This deep purple.
Love it.
And red Godzilla 2000. Yep, it's one of their 2 lotteries.
Except the movie it's based
on. Except the movie, yes. I will tell you. So, I've had the black and blue and the green one. The sculpt and like, this suit works really well in Anraku.
Yeah,
they nailed it. And this is a lottery coming up. We'll be able to apply in about 2 weeks for this bad boy. And
Not a bad price on that at all.
No, all of them are that. I mean, it's funny because, you know, this, like, if you would have won the lottery on this, you would have got this for like $130, you know, and not now. So there was really cool stuff. And so make sure we'll remind everybody on our Facebook group. If you join please join our Facebook group. We always like to send out, everybody's so great in our Facebook group about reminding people to sign up for the lotteries.
Yep.
Then Marasan, you know, they're also like, hey, we like Miragoji too. And they've been just flooding the market with great colorways here. And so I thought this was really neat. This was in kind of honor of the 50th anniversary that Godzilla Sofubi made it over to Hawaii. Now, the story goes like, there was some tie-in with like the head of Bullmark at the time, and like this stuff is working, so he decided to send some stuff from Godzilla Sofubi to Hawaii, and then that's why we always got these fun Hawaii versions and all the classic stuff. It's you know, some of the most rare ones are like the Hawaii versions, and they're usually really this floral, this colorful, this just bright colorways. So they decided to do that with the 99 and do this green and yellow and this red, yellow, and green Hawaii versions for this 99 Godzilla. And these will all be lucky bags. It'll be sold at 3 different retailers in Japan. So it won't be impossible to get, but you know, they'll be out there. And I love these. I think these are great.
Yeah. The colors on both of them are great. And I like that red because it's like not red. You know what I mean? It's like, it reminds me of like a watermelon. It's like a pinkish 100%. Red. It's not
perfect for Hawaii version. I mean, I think these captured it. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. And then going back to Medicom, so simultaneous to the lottery for the Godzilla 2000, they're going to do this really cool. It's a double lottery, meaning that it's technically 2 separate lotteries to get them both. Kind of like how they did with the GAPPA. They did 3 for the male, female, and juvenile. But this one is, and I wanted to bring this one up, because they're really cool. But this was the episode that I was alluding to, and I was saying, hey, I just watched Return of Ultraman, and you know, this is this episode is one that's considered one of the best by fans, one of the best Ultra episodes across any of the bazillion Ultraman series. And this was Ultraman Jack, of course, but this was the Kaiju and the Seijin from that episode, all paired together. So it's Ultraman Jack, it's Marucci is the big Kaiju, and then Alien Mates is the alien there. And it's a sad, it's a commentary on xenophobia, and it's a great episode, and it's beautifully done, except for the exploding dog, but it does kind of make sense in the story. Yes, there's an exploding dog. And I'm a cliche, man. I'm one of those guys. I don't like seeing the dogs die in film.
Nobody does.
I know.
Dude.
I mean, that's the point. I get that. It's to evoke emotion, but I'm like, hey, if you're really talented, save the dog and still get the emotion out of me. That's why I always joke. That's why I like GMK so much, is because when they lock the Shiba Inu in the whatever that is, the trunk, and throw it out to the water, at the end you see it, or at the end you see it, it's saved and rescued when Mothra comes out. That's, I think, why GMK is so great. But these toys are great. These are huge. These are not cheap. But once again, same lottery timelines. It's shipping out in October. So I might have to go after this lottery.
Do it, man. Good stuff all around here. I'm really liking this Anraku though.
Yeah, it's really good.
This slide, that's my favorite.
I'm not gonna deny that. I think the colorway is really unique. I don't think you see much.
I just like those little chunky boys, man. And Raku knows how to, and they know how to sculpt over there.
They do. Okay, now this is one that you turned me on to, and you told me about when it was announced, and it's from the Sola Chigoken line at Bandai, their Mecha Godzilla. And I was reading it after you sent me over, like, hey, look at this, man. It has a head, a removable head and tail, and you can convert it to flying mode. And I was reading, it's like, oh, it also has lights and sounds and light up eyes and a space beam and all this type of stuff. I mean, it's almost 11 inches tall, has a display base.
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of like basically like from a die-cast toy. Like, does it get any better than this?
Yeah.
For modern die-cast.
This is insane. I saw this going around, and I was my mind was kind of blown, as I think most people who've seen it are. It's just like a perfect, it's like they shrank Mecha Godzilla and they're selling it to you. And I really love, the way he looks in his flying mode. So that's to me, that's a big sell.
100%.
This is I'm gonna try to pick this up. This is an awesome toy.
Yeah, you know, the retail that we're gonna hear in Japan is about $250. We'll know more in 2 days from when we're recording this, because it's supposed to go pre-order on a lot of sites. And I know a lot of Bandai, Solo Chigoken and stuff like will go on like Big Bad Toy Store and some things that we're kind of used to. No idea what the markup is, or Awesome Collector. So I'm kicking the tires on this one, and this one does not fit anywhere. But like, you sold me on this one.
Yeah. Look at it.
I know. I mean, it's the flying mode.
I think it will also, dude. Did you got that that Super 7 like clear Mechagodzilla? Like, I know it's not, you know, I know that figure is not like, you know, super accurate, and it's kind of, you know, but think of how cool that stylized toy will look next to this. Yeah, like that will just be a good looking display of Mechagodzillas. I just.
And I had the 74X Plus, the 30 centimeter. Put it. I mean, like, it's almost like, and then of course all the sofubi. Like, it could be great. It could be great. Yeah. But I was like, if you'd have told me that we'd be talking about a Bandai toy with so much reverence today, like right now, I would be like, you know what, that might be a hard sell. And then like this thing comes out, I'm like, yeah, they still got it, man. Other than of course Fantasy and some of their other lines, but like. This was awesome. This is awesome. So yeah, I think I'm curious to see what the price will be at some of these retailers. And if the access to it is super easy, that might be something that we that we see. And it's supposed to ship out in December. So
yeah, I'm excited for that.
So it's a perfect prepay payment plan type situation going on there in December. It'll be long paid off by the time it shows up. So I thought this was cool. And then I want to talk about this. These are all sold out, but I think this got a lot of heat and press throughout the community as well, because it was, and I felt like a lot of it was negative, and I thought this was something that should have been praised across the mountaintops, because we talk about collaboration, and in sofubi and designer toys we see it a lot. But this is one that put together really 4 partners. You have Spiral Studios, kind of the operator. You have, you know, TYG Toys, TIG Toys as the sculptor. You have Kaiju Canvas as the painter, and then got the Godzilla store in the US kind of as the main retailer. And all 4 of these entities work together to produce, yes, a very small run. I think there were 5 or 10 of these, but these things sold out in a second. And you had these awesome 10, 11-inch tall TYG toy, GMK, and these 2 Mechagodzillas. And you know, the price tags are substantial, but they sold out like that because these are awesome. And so I think, like NeoPlayerOne, you were getting a lot of people not in the secondary market, because these were on the primary market at Godzilla store. Why would you pay $1,200? You know what? It's a lot of people that maybe don't appreciate and understand sofubi, and great, fine by me. But I thought it was so cool that these things sold out so quickly. These are awesome pieces. I would love to have one, but they're not cheap, and I thought it was just really cool all the way around.
Yeah, I think this is cool, and TYG Toy has put out, you know, the Godzillas that they've been doing. It's one of the best looking Godzillas I've ever seen. I don't think this Mechagodzilla is as good as their Godzilla, but they're amazing no matter what. And yeah, if people want to pay $700, $1,500, $1,200, then they're gonna fucking pay it. These are above toys at this point.
100%.
It's a piece of art. That Godzilla, hey, that Godzilla is worth $12.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It just is.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that's like, you know, you see the people complain about like, well, produce more. The artist and the companies, they know what's best for them. They don't. It might be too difficult for them and too much of a strain for whatever they're doing to produce more. Great. Because you know what? They kind of understand the demand because these sold out so quickly. And I'm a big fan. Like, if you want our toys that we love in the world of sofubi and kaiju to evolve and get better and take chances and take risks like this Mechagodzilla, it's the artists and the designers and the makers need to be paid for what it's worth, and, you know, alleviate some of that risk. And like I said, I thought this was a great example of that, an example of great partnership, but also a great example of the Godzilla store, it's not just T-shirts and Bandai. Like, and we've seen some M1 and Marsa, but like even these super high-end toys are getting on there. And I think that's really cool because it allows another avenue for us US-based collectors to get stuff at the closer to the suggested price. So really cool stuff. Go team. And then I forgot about this one. I didn't even mention this. We talked about events. I know, isn't it crazy how much stuff? It's nuts. So Mogra House is a toy maker over in Japan, and they do a lot of stuff. And they do some partnerships with Marmit and release some Ultra toys and stuff. But they're putting on the first ever Ultra Sofubi Festival, bringing in some special guests, and they're going to have a vendor room that's not just Mogra House, but with Marmit and Bear Model and US Toys and Punk Drunkers and Dream Rocket and Artisan Toy and like 6 or 7 other ones. They're going to be bringing the heat here in the world of Tokusatsu with this first festival. I hope it's first of many. But the one toy that's been leaked and announced is this. Mogra House is partnering with Marmit, bringing back the old Marmit Keemer from Ultraman sculpt. And then they're producing 20 of these, 9-inch tall, only $75, but lottery, right? And they're doing 10 the first day and 10 the second day. I love this. I love the Keemer sculpt. I love this paint app, but I'm very curious to see how this evolves. If this is going to be another one of those secondary festivals, maybe like a hobby round that produces really good stuff. It's a great first attempt to bring in Marmit and Bear Model and US Toys and Punk Drunker and Dream Rocket. Like, I mean, it's a good lineup. So it's more of a great. Now let's see what this looks like. And so I'm curious to see in June when this runs to see what happens.
Yeah, me too. I mean, clearly with those names, like it's going to be something good no matter what. But
yeah, very cool stuff. And bringing in gas, so more of a kind of a multi, variety type show. Oh yeah, so not toys, but merch. We got to talk about your boys over at Cavity Colors. I know you partaking in a lot of Cavity Colors merch.
I'm wearing one right now.
Look at that. Perfect. And we didn't even plan that. Have you had a chance to look at their recently launched Godzilla -1 stuff?
Yeah, I was checking these out. I like.
What do you like?
I mean, I kind of like all of these. Like, I like the design that Matt Frank did with Godzilla with the train in his mouth around the G is really cool. I like the design on so there's the long sleeve and the kind of tie-dye shirt. I like the design, but I would like it more just on a black t-shirt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think all of these are well designed. The Jaws scene is great. Looks awesome on these all look good to me. I think this is all good stuff. Also, do I want those sweatpants? I feel like I do.
I think you need them. We're past one, dude. Right? Yeah.
Wearing those to work.
I think the Matt Frank design was my favorite. I think that was really
it's great. It's very cool.
I think he does wonderful stuff we know, but like this is like really good. Because not everything that looks good on a print looks good on a shirt. I think it's and this is one that definitely works on the shirt. It's really good stuff.
It's good stuff.
And then we can't leave. Our last slide, we got to give, just like we did for Gorgo. Yeah. Just like we did for Gorgo, we got to give our Yongari updates from Titanic Creations. So 423 have sold. So what does that get us? All of us that have pre-ordered And now, have you pre-ordered it yet?
I have not yet.
Okay, we got time. Okay,
I got time.
We have 423. Here's what we got. Of course, it's being produced. We're getting Flame Breath. We're getting Laser Horn. We're getting a helicopter, and we're getting a set of 3 tanks. Now, if we can get over to 500, we get those 3 jets. We can get to 600, we can get those 3 oil tankers.
We got to do it. I believe it will happen. Yeah. I mean, Gorgo happened. I believe it's all going to happen.
Oh, yeah. And then at 700, we get the gate, the Sungyeon-min, however you say it, gate. And then at 900, or excuse me, 800, we get the destructible bridge. Yeah. I want that. I think that needs to happen. I love it, man. I think, once again, Titanic Creations doing wonderful stuff, fighting the good fight for everybody, getting these second tier kaiju that haven't.
I'm very happy. Love. Yeah, I'm very happy with these guys and what they're doing right now. Yeah, it's very good stuff. Yeah,
yeah, and it's almost like what's next? Like I'm already past Yongari. I'm like, hey, what are you doing next, man? When's Reptilica's coming out? When's whatever?
It's Pulgasari.
And Pulgasari next, yeah. When's Death Kappa coming out? When's Gilala?
Dude.
When's Gilala coming out? I mean,
I want an articulated Gilala. Yeah, dude, you're right.
Maybe Gilala loses some if it's articulated. It loses some of its charm.
One of the stretch goals that will come with that rocket,
Oh yes, yeah. I hope they do. I actually hope they do Gilala from the second one with the Takemajin, because I want to like the final stretch goal is just like the room with all the foreign ambassadors at the G8 summit that like the British guy that doesn't speak with an English accent and all. I mean, I love it. Yes, it'll be. I don't know. He has to come with the headphones. He has to have the headphones.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I might go watch that tonight. We might have to watch that tonight. But yeah, maybe Space Monster Wang Magui will be next. Maybe we'll get that one next.
Dude, I want all the weird. I want Daigoro and Daigo's mom.
Yeah, screw Daigoro. We want Daigoro's mom and Goliath. Oh my gosh, that would be like they could do their first like set. It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
The stretch goal for that one has to be like his toilet that he goes into, his like bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'm watching that tonight. Oh gosh, I love Gilala. Anyway, in Daigoro. So,
Jay, is that it?
That's it. That's a lot of toys, dude.
That is a lot.
And that's not even all of them. That's not even all of them.
Yeah. And that took an hour. So yeah, you're right. We could not be talking about anything else with that. Hey, a lot of good stuff coming. I mean, there's always good stuff. It's like literally a mountain of good toys every week. You know what I mean? Like there's so much stuff. And I think that's one thing I've tried to talk about on Toy Anxiety whenever we get talking about kaiju a little bit, is trying to get people to understand that the toy world for kaiju is very, very different than it is over here with, Marvel and Star Wars and shit. We got a lot of good stuff coming. I really, really want those cars. The train, like the train and the jet and the out of everything you showed, those are what I want. I want those.
Yeah. They're up there. Like I ignoring the NeoPlayerOne stuff because just like let it. And
that's
we have right now. Sorry, Jirishi. We still have hope. We have optimism that they're attainable. But the Wacky Racers, the M1 Pigmon are up at the top for me.
Jess ordered some Pigmon today.
Oh,
I don't even know where she got it. I don't even know what it is.
Hey,
hold on.
If you have another week, dude, with you don't have any pickups, we got to get Jess on here as your proxy. She
ordered a Pigmon. Let me see if I can. Where did she even get this from? It's just called Buddha Boy with Balloon. Sofubi Kaiju 1.
Yeah, Kaiju 1. Yeah, that's Kaiju 1. That's the same guy that did Danger Dax. Yeah, they're Buddha 1.
Okay. Yeah,
Buddha Boys are great. She
ordered one. She ordered
They're very
one
fun.
today. I don't know where she was ordering it from, but she ordered a little Buddha Boy, and I was like, cool.
They're very cool.
I like it. It's different.
Yeah, it's different, but like it's not like too abstract, right? I mean, you know what it is.
You can tell.
There's one Buddha Boy with the balloon in a diaper. That's really funny.
This one has a balloon, no diaper.
Okay, yeah. There's some really good stuff. No, that's a good job, Jess. Like I said, she might just have to replace you on the show during pickup time.
That's all right. I'll take a nap.
You miss all the cool pickups.
Hey,
man.
I'm recording every night of the week now. I don't know if you've noticed, but YHS is now doing every night. So,
oh my gosh. Yeah. So if anybody, that's a good point. So if anybody that's like, hey, why did Jake miss this week, or why did they have to cancel? We got to give Jake some slack, because he is now literally, other than his day job as a award-winning tattoo artist, he is now an artist of other things, which you know what? That's what we should end on. I'm gonna
Okay.
Because that's better than any of my pickups. You are now podcasting literally 5 days a week.
Yeah, 5 days a week, maybe even more. I don't know. We started YHS is trying to do. you know, and listen, I'm not complaining or anything. It's something we want to do, but we're trying. I don't know if you've caught any of them, Jay, but we've done it every day this week so far. Where we're trying to do like a little 20-minute episodes every single day. We're still, you know, on Thursdays we're still going to record our regular full length YHS that will come out either Sunday or Monday. But until then, we're going to, you know, we've been just doing topical discussions. We talked about the new Twister trailer today. We talked about Superman's reveal yesterday or whatever day that came out. But yeah, doing that every day. Toy Anxiety on Tuesdays, this on Wednesdays, and then I'll be recording YHS Prime tomorrow. It's a busy week.
Dude, can I use a Jake Walsh quote? It's too much.
Sure. It's too much. It is.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen. And this is on Facebook. Okay. So you guys can go check this out on Facebook. But so a little backstory. Those that may not know, I do work I have a little toy store called Tokyo Toy Town. We sell a lot of kaiju stuff, but not about me. We do G-Fest every last year was our first year. They're going to do it again this year. And, you know, we love going to toy shows and we love really pushing the envelope on our setup and try to do something a little different, something fun, a little different, you know, add a little flair, a little variety to what most toy shows booths look like. We like to do that because we love to see people engage with toy booths in a different way. We're always experimenting. But, you know, one thing that we really wanted to do was have a big focal, I'm going to say a centerpiece, but a big focal point. Like in my head, first thing pops up like a mural, something that like encompasses what we do that's just there as a beautiful piece of art. And, you know, I try not to leverage my personal friendship with Jake too much because he is an award-winning artist and I don't want to do that. But I was able to convince him to help us out and put together this mural that will be the centerpiece of our booth. And he basically brought Tokyo Toy Town to life. It's now, what would Tokyo Toy Town look like if it was a real town? And so I'm going to share my screen here. And once again, you can go on Facebook on the Tokyo Toy Town Facebook and look at this, but I just got to show this to everybody. Okay. Now I'll make the screen a little bit bigger here so those that are watching can see it. And that is not working. It is not making the image bigger because I got to click on the magnifying glass. There we go. Okay. I'm going to scroll down here. But if it will let me, it is not. Okay. Let me see if that'll help. Nope. Okay. Well, you know, best laid plans. But anyway, I'll try to, you'll get the idea. Sure. But in this beautiful, this will be a 6 foot by 8 foot big mural.
Ooh, big boy.
He's captured some of the most iconic sofubi toys and stuff that we love. I mean, look at this. I mean, we have that classic Ultraman. We have the Marmit Tower in the yellow, which is my personal favorite color. We have the Hedera in those bullmark colors. This little Matango Garden. We have the Nakajima M1, some Lit Goji. We, of course, have Gilala and Baragon. And you know, stuff for those that listen to the show, you should know some Easter eggs if you're at G-Fest.
Yeah.
Look at that Popey Garamon. We know that's one of Jake's favorite pickups recently.
Yeah.
Some really, really cool stuff. And I don't know, man. It's just so cool. It's one of my favorite things that I've been attached to. And I did none of this, obviously, the work, but the fact that I'll get to plop this in the middle of our store, it means the world. I mean, look there. We even have the giant Bullmark 70 Godzilla, which was #1 in my first ever holiday wish list, which I own now, but he's right there. The flying guy again. We have everything. And of course, we had to put Amanda in there because nobody likes Manda.
For sure.
I do like Manda toys.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Manda has really good toys, and I needed some water kaiju to fill in the water kaiju. Hey, this was fun to do, man, and it was good. It was a fun project. I had a lot of fun with it. And listen, you're not taking any sort of advantage of my friendship or anything. You dangle a couple toys in front of my face, or like you basically paid me in wiping out toy debt, and that's. I mean, that's not it, but that was the only thing I asked for you, and I'll do anything for that. So
for toy debt,
you buy me a toy, like I'm good to go, dude. So yeah, it was all good.
I know. I mean, if you'd have told me like 3 years ago, yeah, you're gonna be boothing at G-Fest, and in the center of it's going to be an 8-foot mural with Gilala on it. I've been like, what? But anyway, I just share that because it's truly my favorite pickup I've had. So it's really cool stuff.
That means a lot.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, but that's all I got.
Well, I guess we're gonna get out of here then. Listen, Jay has shown me his plans for his G-Fest booth, and it makes me so mad that I can't be there. Like, not just that, like the way the setup is gonna be. I don't even want to spoil it. Like, it's just
it'll be
Jay's
fun.
Jay's gonna have an amazing setup at G-Fest. So if you're there, you
Stop
will not be able to miss it. You're going to see it. So
tell me you listen to the show, and I'll give you 10% off.
Yeah, hey, that's a deal right there. We're going to be back in 2 weeks. Possibly, hopefully, we're going to be talking about the anime trilogy, the whole anime trilogy. If we can, I don't want to say we, I want to say if I, because Jay will be able to do it. If I can commit to watching all 3 movies by then, which I'm sure I will, but we're going to be talking about it in 2 weeks. So
it'll be fun.
Go rewatch them, freshen up, change your opinions because you're all wrong. Those movies are good, and we'll see you soon.
Go buy toys.
You anything else, Jay?
Let's go buy toys.